Good morning, everyone. Well, congratulations to us. We finished the... Got a chirp on that. Huh? We got 7 Dimensions of the Mind book. Went through all the 7 dimensions, starting with the 7th, ending up with the 1st. Very deep concepts, very central to the Gurudeva's system of meditation, understanding the 7 dimensions, how they relate to the chakras and so forth. Very important. So today we're going to start a related topic, which is the concept of awareness. We'll have a few talks on awareness. This is really the most central concept in Gurudeva's approach to meditation through the Shum language. We need to have a good understanding of what awareness is. As an introduction to the concept, we're going to read the publisher's desk, Claiming Your Omnipresence. It gives a good, simple explanation of what awareness is. The title is Claiming Your Omnipresence. Subtitle, How to Separate Your Awareness from What You Are Aware of and Enjoy a Part of Your Mind that is always peaceful and all-pervasive. Omnipresence is defined as the state of being present everywhere at the same time. In a religious context, omnipresence is generally thought of as an attribute unique to God. God is present everywhere, whereas man is only present in the location of his physical body. Hindu thought differs from this perspective. Not only is God omnipresent, he has graciously shared that attribute with us. Omnipresence is found at the core of our soul. We can compare this to the Internet, which was created by the U.S. Department of Defense for their use, but was ultimately given to the world for everyone to freely use. I have coined a word for the omnipresent network that is accessed by experiencing the core of the soul. I call it the Internet. I-N-N-E-R-N-E-T. Internet. Realized beings have shared their experience of the Internet. My Guru's Guru, Yogaswami of Jaffna, Sri Lanka, expressed it this way. Bliss, bliss, bliss. I am here, I am there, I am everywhere. To make sure his devotees didn't think that this was an attainment unique to him, he would also state, I am everywhere, you're everywhere, but you don't believe it. He also made seemingly outlandish statements such as, now I am sitting here. I am in England also. I am also in America. Not only was Yogaswami able to experience the Internet, he was able to utilize it to accomplish tasks at a distance. Pretty good feat. We can give initiation by thought to people in Singapore while remaining here in Sri Lanka. This interior network has a parallel to the external Internet with which we can remotely access digital devices that are thousands of miles away from our computers. In Hindu philosophy, the Sanskrit term most commonly used for the Internet of omnipresence is Satchit Ananda. Our online lexicon defines this as Satchit Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss, a synonym for Para Shakti, Lord Shiva's divine mind and simultaneously the pure superconscious mind of each individual soul. Satchit Ananda is perfect love and omniscient, omnipotent consciousness, the fountainhead of all existence, yet containing and permeating all existence. Also called pure consciousness, pure form, substratum of existence, and more. One of the goals of the meditator or yogi is to experience the natural state of the mind, Satchit Ananda, holding back the vrittis through yoga practices. Vrittis, for anyone who doesn't know, means mental activity, thoughts. Paramaguru Yogaswami had a terse way of stating this. Sat Chit Ananda. That is one thing, Sat Chit Ananda. Sat is you are. Chit is omnipresence, prakasha. Light is from the sun, all-knowing. Ananda is bliss. They are three, but they are one. That is your nature. In Hinduism, it is not enough to simply state that omnipresence resides at the core of our soul. This truth ultimately must be experienced by each of us. We can move toward experiencing omnipresence using a series of progressive practices. The first step is to understand and then identify ourselves as awareness, rather than what we are aware of. A clear statement of this idea is found in the first 4 verses of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Now the exposition of yoga. Yoga is the restraint of mental activities. That's the vrittis again. Then awareness abides in its essential nature. At other times, awareness takes on the form of the mental activities. Awareness is the soul's ability to sense, see, or know, and to be conscious of this knowing. In the Yoga Sutras, awareness is termed drashta, drik, chit, and chit shakti. The state referred to in verse 3, then awareness abides in its essential nature, is the result of awareness disuniting with the mental activities and remaining temporarily aware only of itself until thoughts again arise. Then we have an exercise. Exercise 1, identifying yourself as awareness. Mentally repeat the question, who am I, for 1 minute, while being aware that you are repeating it. During the next minute, cease the repetition and simply be aware of what was aware of repeating it. That's pretty simple. An example might be helpful. I hold up a piece of paper and say, I see the paper. That makes sense, right? I see the paper in my hand. If I say I am the paper, how many would agree? No one. We are trained from childhood that we are not physical objects. We perceive them. We see the paper. We smell the incense. We hear the water flowing. We are different from them. That's the way we think. But then we say, I am happy. Think about it. We identify with the happiness we experience, but we are not the paper we see. Returning to Patanjali's verses, happiness is the mental activity that awareness has taken the form of. The goal is to distinguish ourselves from what is mental in the same way we distinguish ourselves from what is physical. We don't want to think, I am happy. We want to think, I, awareness, am experiencing the emotion called happiness. But I am not happiness. I am the experiencer of happiness. This isn't who I am, just as I am not the paper I see. Then we get exercise number 2. Moving your awareness. A good second step toward claiming your soul's omnipresence is to control the state of consciousness that you, as awareness, are currently experiencing. If you are in a slightly depressed state of mind, move awareness into a happier one. If you are jealous of an individual, move into a state of being happy for what he or she has achieved. My Guru, Sivaya Subramanya Swami, taught this principle by comparing the states of consciousness and individual experiences to a large city and awareness to the traveler through the city. He wrote, generally people take problems too personally by identifying closely with them. When they experience anger, they are angry. When they experience bliss, they are blissful. The mystic identifies with the experiencer instead of the experience. He sees himself as pure awareness that travels in the mind. When he is in San Francisco, he is not San Francisco. Similarly, when he is in anger, he is not anger. He says to himself, I am pure energy. I am the spiritual energy that floods through mind and body. I am not the body, the mind, or the emotions. I am not the thoughts I think or the experiences I experience. Thus he molds a new identity of himself as a free being who can travel anywhere in the mind. Such a person is always at the top of the mountain. Omnipresent consciousness has other qualities such as being eternal and changeless. You as omnipresence have always existed and have never changed. Charming story told by a former Canadian ambassador to Sri Lanka illustrates this idea. My wife and I brought our 3 children to see Yogaswami. Turning to the children, he asked each of them, how old are you? Our daughter said 9 and the boys 11 and 13. To each in turn, Yogaswami replied solemnly, I am the same age as you. When the children protested that he couldn't be 3 different ages at once, and that he must be much older than their grandfather, Yogaswami just laughed and winked at us to see if we understood. At the time, we took it as his joke with the children, but slowly we came to see that he meant something profound, which was for us to decipher. Now I think this was his way of saying indirectly that although the body may be of very different ages on the way from birth to death, something just as real as the body and for which the body is only a vehicle always was and always will be. In that sense, we are in essence all the same age. Here are 3 more exercises in connecting with your inherent omnipresence. Give them a try. 1. When you come home from visiting a temple, imagine you are still in the temple in front of the deity and feel the vibration of the distant temple within you. 2. When you walk down the street, imagine that you are in 2 places, where you are standing and also ahead of your body at the end of the block. 3. When walking, strive to go deeply enough within to see that you as awareness are actually standing still, not moving. Conclusion. The next time you find yourself in a negative state of consciousness, move awareness out of it into the positive consciousness that you are a spiritual being whose essence is identical with God. Identifying yourself as awareness and learning to move awareness out of negative states of consciousness into positive ones brings you closer to experiencing yourself as omnipresence, Satchit Ananda, the most subtle level of existence you can be aware of. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.